Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Foundry, episode number 9. Another quick check-in on what I've been doing over the past week off camera. Not as much. I've been very busy this past week, but a big thing has been accomplished, and that is, for one, I found I was missing a research. There was one research that didn't involve the yellow science pack left that was snuck in the middle of everything else that I had missed. Well, getting that done unlocked the sales warehouse, which actually the sales warehouse is not one, but two pieces. There's the sales warehouse, and then there's the space station requester warehouse. It's the give and the receive end. We'd already pointed out last time that we needed the Fermilite bars to complete our yellow science, and that involved, this tower sending things up to that space station. So here, the yellow one is our sales warehouse, and connected up is maintenance drones. So maintenance drones go there, and then coming out at this end, which of course those are both connected to the space station, coming out from this end is the Fermilite bars. With those Fermilite bars, we now have our complete network to make the yellow science. A couple things that I've discovered with it. One, the maintenance drones, well, I was missing a single link up piece, so I didn't have my cycle complete. And so I wasn't producing the maintenance drones, and so they're coming in really slow right now. I'd love to speed up the production of that in time. Two, the cycle for producing yellow science is massively outperforming the four what do you call these, assemblers, massively outperforming the four assemblers. You can see how slow the yellow science comes out. I mean, there's two on the line. That's it, and there's everything you need. We're not missing anything here. So it's just insanely off the pace on those four. So that's a second thing that we would want to increase, is essentially double up just the assembler portion, but this big old snake connection we would have to make in this space over here and get it all hooked up. And yeah, that's a whole process in and of itself. Now, another thing that we have done while I was waiting for processes and whatnot to get done, and that research to get done, is I started to make a bus to ship in necessary resources. You can see, we have our plates, we have our bars, we have our steel bars, we have our mineral rocks for, the gravel and whatnot. And what I've done is I went back beyond our main base area, knowing that we have limitations on the supply that we had, that we were going to run out at some point anyway. These are not infinite resources. B, as we increase production, you use up more of what you have anyway, and so the line thins out, and you start to lag on things. So again, needed more. So I found an area not too far away from the main base that had a lot of basic resources that we were going to need. So mineral rock, ignium ore, technum ore, and then a little bit further off, a couple xenoferrite ore pockets or veins, and went ahead and mined all of them, set them up, and turned it into a bus. Now, as you saw, the bus is not yet connected to the main base, so it will increase what we have going on within the base soon enough. But for the moment, it is on standby until I decide how and where I want to feed the line. But you can see the last of those, the steel, that was the last one that I just finished, is still filling up the line, and there's actually room for something else. As I'm completing my first research right now with yellow science mining laser, obviously what's next for us is that we've got yellow science now, so getting through the research for that, and as I already pointed out, increasing outputs for those couple things, the maintenance drones, the rate of the science production. But one thing stood out to me and suddenly became a need. With all these new sales warehouses, with all these new demands, power, even though I had already drastically increased power to 6 steam engines, if you look at the steam vents, only 3 are running. We might have access to more power, but look at my fuel source. Look at how barren my fuel source is. Now, if we follow this line as it comes around, you'll see part of the reason why this is happening. Part of the reason is we're pulling off some of that ignium ore to feed other sources. But there's a couple options for me now. One option, if we go into the all research tab here, is there is a new fuel source that is available, which is ignium fuel rods. It's gonna take a while, but we can make a fuel rod casing and then the ignium fuel rods. Bit of a process, but this is gonna turn into a 100 megajoule fuel source. Now the straight ignium ore is not producing that level. I'm not sure where I'm going to see that or figure that out, but it's definitely not your top-notch level fuel source. So there are better fuel sources. Getting away from the just raw ignium ore to fuel the boilers is going to be a big target here in this coming week. But in the short term, I think the solution is pretty damn obvious. This line of ignium ore is nowhere near max capacity. It's pretty dang empty. So we need to fill it in more, and there is definitely more ignium ore out there, or I could get down inside that vein and find a way to increase the output that I have. It's not a very large one, so I think realistically I would be better off getting after one of these guys. This one's much more shallow and not in the middle of a forest. Might be actually easier to get to than this one, which is pretty deep. However, freight elevators make things much, much easier with that. But we're in the middle of a very dense forest in there. You gotta either get way up above those trees, or you've got to cut your way through that forest with that type of scenario. But one way or another, we need more ignium ore in the short term. So that's my immediate project besides the actually starting research. And I think those fuel rods will probably be the next thing after the mining laser. The mining laser was one I picked out a long time ago. And of course that with the mining laser means my ability to dig gets from the mining drill, which is at 100% speed. And that's going to upgrade that. I've got a couple upgrades. I can definitely mine faster than before, and I don't need it as much as I used to, but it's still a very, very handy thing to have and really speeds things up for me. Obviously, I've already hooked into other ignium ore recently, and it's coming in the opposite direction, and I don't have it raw. I have it making steel. I could bring it in on that 5th line and make it raw, and actually it's not that far away from our power source to add to that to feed that line some more. But I think taking a full separate source is probably the smarter way than diluting one that's already being used for another purpose. However, there is one here that's not that far away, and that would make a full additional one. That's actually probably easier to get to than either of these. It does appear to be at least a somewhat larger pocket, 16, 16, 12. That's roughly the same. Yeah, there's not a significant difference in the size of those. But then again, to get out here, we got to run power, we got to run infrastructure that way. This one's definitely closer. We've already run things as far as here. In fact, I've already run power. You can see maybe the yellow dots here. That is power running this way. So connecting up to there would not be that big of a deal. I think I might just do that. So that's what's next. That's what's in store. That's the progress we've made. We have the Firmalight bars now. We are beginning into the Yellow Science Ventures. That's going to do it for this update video. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.